Rafinha, first time ball to Bamford. Bamford in the penalty area on the left foot. Oh, what a finish from Patrick Bamford!
Welcome back to Leeds Lately. This video is actually going to be a bit of a news update for all things surrounding Leeds United. So this is actually going to be Leeds Lately. So first of all, Jack Harrison has just signed permanently on a 3-year deal. Now I know when this video comes out it's a few days ago, but some of you may have been working or whatever and not caught up, but Harrison has finally signed from Manchester City. Obviously we had a deal where he was supposed to sign permanently last season after a 2-season loan, but we didn't sign him because Manchester City said they were happy to put off it for 1 year so that we could obviously spend a little bit more in the transfer market. So now that's actually happened. He's been on a 3-year loan. He's actually, I think he was the longest loan player Leeds United have ever had, and he's signed permanently for a snip really at just over £10 million, and fantastic bit of work. 3-year deal which takes him to 2024, and you can't complain at that. Jack Harrison's been a fantastic servant to the club, and it'll just feel a bit more like home for him now that he's signed permanently for Leeds United. Fantastic player. The goal that he scored against Liverpool at the start of the season is always one that's going to stick out in the memory for me. Our first goal back in the Premier League, lovely ball over the top from Calvin Phillips. Harrison takes it with his pillow feet, lovely little touch, touches inside, bottom corner, bang, 1-0. 1-1 actually. But yeah, Jack Harrison, brilliant player, fantastic servant to the club, and I'm so glad that we've signed him permanently. So that's the first bit of news. Second bit of news from a first team player is that Stuart Dallas has actually signed another deal for the club, and that's a 3-year deal which takes him to he'll be 32. So still decent, a decent player at that age I reckon, because he's been unreal for us. When Uwe Rosler first signed him from Brentford as a left midfielder, I think a lot of people questioned what he really was. He's not the quickest player, he's not the most skillful player, but what he is industrious, hard-working, and very good quality on the ball in terms of his passing and his movement. So Bielsa has converted him into this utility player that can play in probably nearly every position on the pitch, and he actually has played nearly every position on the pitch this season. But even Leeds fans, even after last season and the season before, the Championship season and the season before, he was a good player. We always thought he was good. He'd been playing at left back, right footed, and we always thought, yeah, okay, that's very good for him to be able to do that. But I don't think any of us thought that he would be this good this season. People calling out for a new central midfield player because Klich had a bit of a dip in form, but Stuart Dallas really stepped up to the plate and it looked like he'd been a central midfield player all his life, and didn't look like it was his first season in the top flight. So fantastic bit of business to get him signed on another 3-year contract, because like I say, he's been unreal all season, and he's definitely improved every year that he's been at Leeds United. So who knows what he could go on to be. Nobody really knows what his ceiling is, even though he's 29. A couple of youth team bits of news. Amari Miller has signed for the club. He'll slot into the under-23s obviously, and Leeds seem to be wanting to recruit quite heavily in the under-23s and under-18s department, and as has been shown over the last couple of seasons, and now that we've got a Category 1 academy, I think it's definitely easier to attract players. And the under-23s got promoted to the first division of Premier League 2, which is obviously the under-23s division. So that's obviously a good thing for attracting players to the club. So players like Amari Miller coming in are a great bit of business because they cost next to nothing, and who knows what they could become in the future. Alfie McCalmont, the Northern Ireland international, has signed for Morecambe on loan in League One. Morecambe obviously who just got promoted through the playoffs last season. and so he'll be playing in League One and hopefully get a bit of first team experience and bring that back to Leeds United in a couple of years, and maybe then eventually make a push for the first team. So that's a good bit of news for him, because it, like I say, it gets in first team action, and that's really what somebody like him needs, because he can't really fester in the under 23s for too much longer, because he needs that first team experience to maybe even make a push for the Leeds first team. Rafa Mujica signed for UD Las Palmas on loan, so that's another one where he's just got to go and get some experience, and going back to Spain, he could probably feel a bit more at home and a bit more settled, and if he has a really good season, then we bring him back, then maybe that's maybe we get some performances where he comes off the bench for Leeds in the Premier League. But to be honest, I can't see that really happening for him, but I just hope he has a good season with them and really impresses at Leeds United, because we just want all of our youth players to do well and eventually get called to the first team.
Since recording this video, Gianni Alioski has actually finished his time at Leeds United finally, and to be honest, we thought he was going to go, but now it's real. His contract hasn't been signed, and he's actually a free agent. He's not actually signed for a new team yet. There's a lot of rumours that it's going to be Fenerbahce, which I'm sure a lot of Leeds fans would prefer over where we thought he was going to go, which was Galatasaray. So if he goes to Fenerbahce, good luck to him. He's been a fantastic servant to this club. I mention him a lot in these videos. I've obviously really enjoyed him over the time he's been here. He's a good laugh, he's a weirdo, but we love him very much, and we hope he does very well at his next club. We wish him all the best for the future, to be honest, because he's never really done anything to harm this club, and he's always been a great servant and a great lad, really. The other one that I was about to go onto the rumour section in this video, so the only thing that's changed, other than the fact that it's a rumour about Junior Firpo, I go on to talk about what sort of player he's like, but he's actually rumoured now to be £12.8 million, and he's rumoured to be in Leeds doing a medical this week, to be announced later in the week, so that's all very exciting. Back to the video.
Now we go on to the rumour section. Junior Firpo from Barcelona is very heavily linked at the moment. He's a left back. He signed for Barcelona only about a season or two ago from Real Betis, and he's a bit of a flying wing back, really. I have seen somebody on Twitter saying that he's a bit of a confidence player, and at the moment his confidence is quite low, but when his confidence gets up, he's a fantastic player. He's a flying wing back, and he would do wonders for Leeds United, especially under Marcelo Bielsa, so I'm all for it if we can get him in. Obviously I did that video a few weeks ago where I looked at the ones we've been linked with, and Romain Perraud now looks like he's going to Southampton, and there was a couple of others. Javi Galán, not sure on him. The rumours have died down a little bit because of the Junior Firpo rumours. And the third one was Patrick Van Aanholt. I don't really know what's happening with him. Also Maxwell Cornet is probably the one that's linked most alongside Junior Firpo, and he's from Lyon, but he's not actually a left back. He's converted into a left back because of injuries and stuff that they've had, so he's not necessarily a natural left back. He's more of a winger, but then so was Alioski. So do we want someone who's a little bit more solid defensively, a natural left back, or do we want to go to another player who's actually a winger playing at left back? I don't know about that. I think I'd rather have somebody who's naturally a left back but likes to get forward as well, like Junior Firpo. So yeah, it would be interesting to see what happens with that, but when something does happen, then I'll do a bit of a player profile on whoever we sign. So each time we sign a player, I'll give you some more information. I'll do some research on them. We'll get some clips of them, and we'll show you a bit more about them, really, so that you can get excited for the new season. So yeah, that's going to be it from this video. There will be more news videos in the future. The reason I haven't done one to this point is because there hasn't been much news up till now. There was obviously Tyler Roberts signing on a new deal, but that was the only thing that had really happened, so I couldn't really make a whole video about that. But now there was about 5 or 6 things that happened in the last week or so. I thought I'd make a video on that, so there will be some more in the future when we get a opposite of a slow news week. I guess a fast news week, but I don't think that's a saying. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching this one, and I'll update you in the future when we make signings, etc. So thanks for watching. Cheers.